We'll just take it after
Good evening, welcome to the citizens of the arena on the campus of Taylor County High School for tonight's 5th Region Volleyball Championship match. Tonight's match will feature the Elizabethtown Panthers and the Central Hardin Bruins. This time, please stand for the playing of our national anthem, which will be sung by Grace Farmer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Taylor County High School for tonight's 5th Region Volleyball Championship game. We're now going to turn it over to our PA announcer for the lineups for both teams.
Number 2, Josie Smallwood. Number 3, Alexis Raisbrook. Number 4, Alex Jenkins. Number 7, Sarah Clark. Number 8, Jessica Smallwood. And number 10, Angela Alfred. They are coached by Brock Hamlin. And entering tonight with an overall record of 345. And the home team is the Central Hardin Bruins. And the Central Hardin starters, number 3, Cindy Archer. Number 6, Anna Lewis. Number 10, Madison Key. Number 12, Abby Archer. Number 16, Harper Lewis. And number 22, Caitlin Bess. The Lady Bruins are coached by Bill Reinhardt. Tonight's 5th Region Championship match.
So there we have the lineups. This is the 6th consecutive year that Elizabethtown and Central Hardin have met in the 5th Region Final. The last 7 out of 8 years as well. In the 6 previous matchups in the 5th Region tournament, each team has won 3 titles. And the winner of tonight's game will move on to next week's Sweet 16 matchup against Region 4. We don't know exactly where games will be played out yet because those games will be determined by the Champions RPI, which is done through the KHSAA. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company and has been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. E-Town and Central Hardin have met 3 times this year. The opening match at Elizabethtown, E-Town won in 4 sets, 3 sets to 1. when they rematched at East Hardin Middle School, Central Hardin came out on top in 5 sets. And then in the district final, which was held at E-Town, Central Hardin won that one 3-2. On the court for the Bruins, Katie Vest, Addie Atcher, Harper Lewis, Anna Lewis, Sadie Atcher, and Addison Keith, with Sam Nelson set to check in as the libero. For the Panthers, Sarah Clark, Josie Smallwood, Alex Jenkins, Jessica Smallwood, Alexis Weisbrot, and Ava LaFollette, with Avery Powers set to check in as the libero. We've kind of expected this game since the beginning of the year. Again, this is the 6th time in a row that these two teams have met for the 5th region title. And it will be Central Hardin who will start it off. Actually, already started. They haven't allowed E-Town, they haven't checked their lineup yet. And so now Powers steps on. Sam Nelson to start the service. Weisbrot to Powers, bump sets. Josie Smallwood sends it over. Nelson to Anna Lewis, outside. Addie Atcher goes back row, finds an open spot. And the first point of the ball game goes to the Bruins. 1-0. Powers, this one right back at the net, set back, point E-Town as Central Hardin went over the net. Sarah Clark heads to the line for the Panthers, 1-1.
Sarah Clark to serve.
Vest to Sadie Atcher for Addie Atcher, and rolled up. Weisbrot to Clark, back sets this one for Jenkins, back row, and Jenkins gets the kill. 2-1. Vest to Anna Lewis for Addie Atcher, off the front line. Clark. And a net violation on the Panthers. Point Central Hardin. That'll get McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor into the lineup for the Bruins. Cox will head to the service line. 2-2.
McKenna Cox to serve.
Service error, point over to the Panthers and serve. Ava LaFollette back in on the front line for E-Town. Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 3-2.
Smallwood to serve.
And that's an ace. 4-2. Nelson to Cox, outside Addie Atcher, off the front line. Jenkins pops it in the air, jousted the net. Jessica Smallwood gets the point. Oh, they're going to say net violation on Jessica Smallwood, point Central. Katie Vest now to the line for the Bruins, 3-4. Floats that one over, that'll be an ace. 4-4. Clark to Jenkins, quick set inside Jessica Smallwood off the front line. Vest to Cox. Back sets this one, Sadie Atcher, dug out by Clark. Now LaFollette sends it back row. Vest to Cox for Addie Atcher. Dug out by Powers, back over. Vest to Cox. She'll back set this one, just tipped over, and Atcher gets the kill. 5, serving 4. Clark to Jenkins. Quick set again for Jessica Smallwood. Touch to that, sit back by Atcher. Jenkins outside, Lafayette blocked at the net. Waysbrock gets it up. Powers will send it over. Cox to Vest. Sends it back outside for Sadie Atcher. She goes across court. It's in. 6, serving 4. Waysbrock to Jenkins. Quick set, Jessica Smallwood just tips that one over and off the front line gets the kill. Alyssa Philpott into the ball game. Alex Jenkins to the line, 5, serving 6. Nelson to Cox. Cross, Addie Atcher winds that one up off a couple of players. Jenkins hits it in the air. Powers will bump it over. Nelson to Cox for Sadie Atcher off the front line. Powers gets to it. Clark will set it back outside. Lafayette cuts it across. Addie Atcher gets that one. Cox back for Addie Atcher. Rolls that one towards the middle. Lafayette got it to Clark. Now Philpott sends it back row. Cox is there to Vest. Sadie Atcher this time rolled it, touched at the net. Powers will send it back corner. Nelson gets that one to Cox. This will be right at the net, just tipped over. Clark not able to get to it. Point Central. Addison Keith checks in on the front line for the Bruins. Addie Atcher to the service line. 7, serving 5. And into the net, point E-Town. Jessica Smallwood heads to the line for the Panthers. 6, serving 7. Nelson overpass, tip kill for Sarah Clark. 7, serving 7. Vest to Nelson, outside Keith. She'll take it across court. Powers gets to it. Jenkins pops it in the air. Clark bumps it over and gets it as it caught the tape and trickled over. Point Panthers. 8, serving 7. Nelson to Cox. Keith off the front line gets the kill. Point Central. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis check into the lineup for the Bruins. Anna Lewis heads to the line. 8, serving 8. Again, we are in set number 1. This will be best 3 out of 5 sets. First one to 25, leading by 2. If we get to a 5th set, it'll be first one to 15, leading by 2. Powers to Jenkins, outside for Clark. Vest gets that one to Anna Lewis. Back set Sadie Atcher. She just rolls it over. Philpott to Clark. She'll send it back corner and finds the open space. Point E-Town. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line as Avery Powers heads to the service line. 9, serving 8.
Avery Powers to serve.
Nelson. Anna Lewis, Harper Lewis, she goes back. Powers got to that one. Clark pops it in the air. Philpott unable to get that one over the tape. Bruins. And Sadie Atcher heads to the service line. 9, serving 9.
Sadie Atcher to serve.
Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins. Outside, Josie Smallwood, back row. Nelson gets that one to Anna Lewis. She'll bump it across for Keith. Blocked at the net by Clark. Point E-Town. Brooke Snyder checking into the lineup for the Panthers. She heads to the service line. 10, serving 9.
Brooke Snyder to serve.
Nelson to Anna Lewis. Back sets Keith. Heath back row, dug out by Snyder. Jenkins, quick set inside for Clark, tapped over. Sadie Hatcher gets it. Anna Lewis for Harper. Lewis, she tips it over. Powers will bump it in the air. Jenkins back for Josie Smallwood off the front line, bounced around Nelson. Now to be Sadie Hatcher, rolls it over. Powers to Jenkins for Clark. Another kill, Sarah Clark. 11 serving 9. Nelson, Anna Lewis, outside Vest. She'll send it back row. Goes off a couple of Panthers. Addie Hatcher back in for the Bruins on the front line. Sam Nelson heads to the service line. Alexis Waysbrook back in for the Panthers on the back row. Sam Nelson at the line, 10 serving 11. Powers, this will be right at the net. Back over, tip kill for Addie Hatcher. 11 serving 11. Jessica Smallwood back to the middle for Jenkins. Soft set there for Clark. Clark gets the kill. Maybe had a net violation on the Bruins. Clark would have gotten the kill. She'll head to the service line. Point E-Town. 12 serving 11.
Sarah Clark will serve.
Ooh, she stepped on the line. Point Central. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor check in for Central Hardin. McKenna Cox will head to the service line. 12 serving 12. Clark to Jenkins. Quick set for Jessica Smallwood. She winds up, gets the kill. Hard to defense her. Ava LaFollette checks in on the front line for the Panthers. Josie Smallwood to the service line. 13 serving 12. Vest to Cox outside. Addie Hatcher. Back row gets the kill. Katie Vest now heads to the line for the Bruins. 13 serving 13. Plays brought to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Lines up. Nelson gets that one. To Cox outside. Addie Hatcher. She'll go back row. Waysbrook not able to. 14 serving 13. LaFollette to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Back line, Nelson gets that one. To Cox. Outside, Addie Hatcher. That goes off the blockers. Point Bruins. 15 serving 13. Clark to Powers. Outside, LaFollette, back row, Nelson digs that one. Cox for Addie Hatcher. She goes across, gets another kill. 16 serving 13. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company. It's been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. It has gone back and forth. E-Town had a 5-2 lead, their largest lead, and now Central Hardin with their largest lead at 16-13. So we come back onto the court. Katie Vest at the line for the Bruins, 16 serving 13.
Central Hardin leads at 16 serving 13, coming out of timeout.
Clark to Jenkins, sets it for Jessica Smallwood. That one's in. Point Panthers. Alyssa Philpott checks in on the front line for E-Town. Alex Jenkins heads to the service line. 14 serving 16. Vest to Cox. Back set Sadie Atcher. And she tools the block. Point Bruins. Addison Keith checks in on the front line. Luz Delgado will check in and head to the service line. 17 serving 14.
Delgado serve.
Powers. Jenkins will go get that one. Back towards the middle. Jessica Smallwood bumps it over. Vest to Cox. Back set Sadie Atcher again. She goes back row. Clark's there. Jenkins bumps across. LaFollette will send it over. Vest to Cox. Side for Keith. And she's blocked there by Jessica Smallwood. Point E-Town. Sam Nelson checks back in for Central Hardin on the back row. Jessica Smallwood to the line to serve for E-Town. 15 serving 17. Nelson up to Cox. Side for Sadie Atcher off the front line. Jessica Smallwood gets that one. Jenkins outside. LaFollette blocked at the net. Point Bruins. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis back in for the Bruins. Anna Lewis will head to the service line. 18 serving 15.
Anna Lewis to serve.
Powers to Jenkins. Outside Clark. That one dug out by Nelson. Right back at the net. Tipped by, and it will be a tip kill for Sarah Clark. Point Panthers. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line for E-Town. Avery Powers at the service line. 16 serving 18. Vest into the net. Anna Lewis sent it back. Sent back over by Nelson. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. Back row. That's deep. Point Bruins. Sadie Atcher now to the line for Central Hardin. 19 serving 16. Powers to Jenkins. Outside Josie Smallwood off the front line. Nelson gets to that one. Anna Lewis outside. Keith. That one blocked at the net. Nelson to Sadie Atcher out to the other side. Vest goes back row. And hits the point for Central. 20 serving 16. That's long. Point E-Town. And Brooke Snyder back in for Elizabethtown. She'll head to the service line. 17 serving 20.
Brooke Snyder to serve.
Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis. Just tapped over. Finds the open spot. Point Central. Addie Etcher back in on the front line for the Panthers. Alexis Ways brought back in on the back line for the Panthers. Sam Nelson to the line. 21 serving 17. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. Clark with the kill. And Sarah Clark will head off to the service line for the Panthers. 18 serving 21.
Clark to serve.
Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper. Lewis just punched it over, popped up. Jenkins takes it back line. Nelson is there. Anna Lewis outside. Addie Atcher, she'll roll it back line. Some miscommunication. Point Bruins. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor check back in for Central Hardin. Cox to the service line. 22 serving 18.
McKenna Cox to serve.
Clark to Jenkins. Outside, Josie Smallwood, and she tours the block. Point Panthers. Ava LaFollette back in on the front line for the Panthers as Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 19 serving 22. Vest to Cox outside. Addie Atcher, that was sent back, popped in there by Sadie Atcher. Nelson sends it over. Jenkins to Clark, quick set. Jessica Smallwood, that's deep. Point Central. Katie Vest to the service line for the Bruins. 23 serving 19.
Caitlin Vest to serve.
Wade's brought to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood off the front line. Diving dig by Nelson comes up short. And point for E-Town. Alyssa Philpott back into the lineup for the Panthers as Alex Jenkins heads to the service line. 20 serving 23. Vest to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher hit at the net. Philpott sends it back over, but that goes wide. And it is set point for the Bruins. Addison Keith back in on the front line. Luz Delgado heads to the service line. 24 serving 20.
Delgado to serve. Central Hardin.
Clark to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Just tapped at that one. Delgado pops it in the air. Cox, back set, Sadie Atcher off the front, and Central takes set number 1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. A family-owned and operated management service with over 30 years of combined experience. For those who are serving our country in the military, a discount is available. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of exit 91 off Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company and has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, And you can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. We'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact nfhs.com to subscribe today. As we come out for set number 2. On the court for Central Hardin, Harper Lewis, Addie Atcher, Anna Lewis, Sadie Atcher, Addison Keith, and Katie Vest, with Sam Nelson checking in as the libero. For Elizabethtown, Ava LaFollette, Alex Jenkins, Josie Smallwood, Jessica Smallwood, Sarah Clark, and Alexis Weisbrot, with Avery Powers set to check in. E-Town will have the first serve of set number 2. So Brooke Snyder, she comes in. She will be the first server for the Panthers.
Will start set number 2. Brooke Snyder to serve.
That goes wide, Point Central. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor in for the Bruins. Alexis Weisbrot back in for Elizabethtown.
McKenna Cox to serve for Central Hardin.
McKenna Cox serving 1, serving 0. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. That's right down the line wide. Point Central. 2, serving 0. Weisbrot to Jenkins for Clark, and Clark gets the kill. And Sarah Clark will head to the service line. 1, serving 2.
Sarah Clark to serve.
Vest to Cox across. Addie Atcher takes it. That's wide. Point E-Town. 2, serving 2. Nelson to Cox. Now Nelson will have to send it back row. Weisbrot to Clark. For Jenkins off the front line. Dug out by Nelson. Cox. Side for Addie Atcher. She rolls it over. Powers gets to that one. Clark sets outside. Josie Smallwood off the blockers. Point Panthers. 3, serving 2. Vest. That'll be an ace for Clark. 4, serving 2. Vest. Cox, that'll be another ace for Clark. 5, serving 2. Vest to Cox, outside Addie Atcher. That one blocked at the net by Smallwood and Jenkins. 6, 6, serving 2. Nelson to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher, back row, gets the kill. Katie Vest to the line for the Bruins. 3, serving 6. Ways brought to Powers for Jessica Smallwood. She'll roll that one over. Vest to Cox, right at the net. Violation. Central Hardin point, E-Town. Ava LaFollette back in for E-Town as Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 7, serving 3. Vest to Cox. Back sets Addie Atchell, rolls that one over. Jenkins to Clark. Back for Jenkins, not able to clear the take. Point Central. Addison Keith on back in for the Bruins on the front line. Addie Atcher to the service line. 4, serving 7. Catches the take. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins. Right back to Jessica Smallwood. And she gets the kill. Point Panthers. Sam Nelson back in for the Bruins. Harper Gregory checks into the lineup for the Panthers. Alex Jenkins at the line. 8, serving 4. Nelson to Cox. Outside at Sadie Atcher. Powers digs it out. Back over. Nelson to Cox. Bump sets outside for Keith. That one off the front line. Clark gets a hand on it. And some miscommunication. Point Central. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis back in for the Bruins. Anna Lewis will head to the line. 5, serving 8. Clark to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. She winds up. Nelson gives it back. Oh, it's in. Nelson with the return. And it just snuck over the net and then stayed in. 6, serving 8. Now, service error point for the Panthers. Jessica Smallwood now to the line for E-Town. 9, serving 6.
Jessica Smallwood to serve.
Nelson to Anna Lewis for Sadie Atcher. She cuts across. That's wide. Point Panther. Central Hardin gets the point. I think they're called a net violation on the Panthers. Sadie Atcher now to the line for the Bruins. 7, serving 9. LaFollette to Powers for Clark. Off the front line. Actually, that hit the antenna. Point Central. 8, serving 9. That's long. Service error, point Panthers. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line as Avery Powers heads to the service line. 10, serving 8.
Avery Powers to serve.
Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis. She chooses the block. Addie Atcher back in for Central on the front line. Sam Nelson to the service line. 9, serving 10. That one's long. Back-to-back service errors by the Bruins. Brooke Snyder back in for E-Town. She'll head to the service line. 11, serving 9.
Brooke Snyder to serve.
Vest to Anna Lewis, outside Addie Atra, and blocked at the net. Nelson gets to that one. Anna Lewis back sets for Katie Vest. She goes off the blockers. Point Central. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor back in for Central Hardin. Alexis Waysbrock back in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox to the line. 10, serving 11.
McKenna Cox to serve.
Powers to Jenkins for Clark. She'll send it back row. Gets the kill. And Sarah Clark heads to the service line. 12, serving 10.
Sarah Clark to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside, Adiatra. That one blocked at the net. Nelson to Cox. She'll back set it. Vest. And Vest gets the kill. Katie Vest now to the service line. 11, serving 12.
Katie Vest to serve.
Waysbrock to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood off the blocker. Cox to Nelson. Outside, Addie Atcher rolls it. Blocked at the net by Jessica Smallwood. Point Panthers. Ava LaFollette back in on the front line for E-Town. Josie Smallwood to the service line. 13, serving 11. And service error. Point Central Hardin. Addison Keith back in on the front line. Luz Delgado will head to the service line. 12, serving 13. Powers to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. She gets the kill. And now Harper Gregory back in for the Panthers on the front line. Alex Jenkins to the service line.
13 for 3, 3-10.
Sam Nelson back in on the back line for the Bruins. 14, serving 12.
Jenkins to serve.
Back-to-back service errors by the Panthers. And Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis in for Central Hardin. Anna Lewis to the service line. 13, serving 14. Powers to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Blocked at the net, tap back over, and not able to get it back over. Point E-Town. And Jessica Smallwood heads to the service line. 15, serving 13. Nelson to Vest. Outside, Keith can't roll it over. Point E-Town. 16, serving 13. Timeout Central. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Again, we'd like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. For tomorrow night, football action will be back on the air. South Oldham comes to Central Hardin to take on the Bruins in the final game of the regular season. Coach Paul Gray will bring you the action. Kickoff scheduled for 7:30. We come back to action here. It will be with Jessica Smallwood at the line. It is serving for E-Town, 16, serving 13.
E-Town leads 16, serving 13. Coming out of the timeout. Smallwood to serve.
Vest to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis. That one off and back over by Jenkins. Anna Lewis just tries to tap it over. Gregory will bump it right back at the net. Joust by Clarkson over. Anna Lewis backs at Sadie Atcher. She tries to roll it over. Powers gets that one. Jenkins back outside. LaFollette not able to clear the tape. Point Central.
Sadie Atcher to serve. First is away.
That goes long. Point E-Town.
Number 2, number 10 for E-Town. Avery Powers to serve.
Powers now at the line for the Panthers. 17 serving 14. Vest to Anna Lewis to the middle for Harper Lewis. Tapped over. I believe we're going to have what they called a net violation. Not sure what their call was. Point Central Hardin. Sam Nelson now to the line for the Bruins. 15 serving 17. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. And Clark tours the block. Point Panthers. Brooke Snyder back in for E-Town. She heads to the service line. 18 serving 15. We are in set number 2. Central Hardin 1, set number 1, 25-20. That goes long. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor in for Central Hardin. Alexis Waysbrock checks in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox to the service line. 16 serving 18.
McKenna Cox to serve for the Bruins.
Powers to Jenkins, outside Clark, blocked at the net by Vest. 17 serving 18. Floats this one. Powers to Jenkins for Josie Smallwood. She finds the open hole. Point E-Town. Sarah Clark to the line. 19 serving 17.
Sarah Clark will serve the Panthers.
Top of the tape, Taylor to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher off the front line. Powers to Clark. She'll backset it for Jenkins. Nelson gets to that one. Cox aside for Taylor. Jessica Smallwood, and then Clark pops it in the air. Powers will send it over. Sadie Atcher to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher rolls this one over. Clark gets to that. Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. She gets the kills. That one's right in the back corner. 20 serving 17. Vest to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher. That one goes off Powers. She returns it. Cox gets to it. Vest outside. Atcher blocked at the net. Point E-Town. 21 serving 17. And with that, Central Hardin will take a timeout. And the winner of tonight's match moves on to the Sweet 16, which will be held next week. The 5th region will be paired up with the 4th region. 4th region being played tonight as well, so we're not sure who will win. Whichever team has the higher RPI will have the home court in the first round of the Sweet 16. Bowling Green will play Warren East tonight. If Bowling Green wins, they have the highest of all 4 of the finals teams. They would host in round number 1 of the Sweet 16. So we come back to action. Sarah Clark at the line for the Panthers. 21, serving 17. Vest to Cox. One set's across. Addie Atcher. That one goes long. And the largest lead of the set now for the Panthers. 22, serving 17. Vest to Cox. Cross. Addie Atcher again. This time she gets the kill. Point Bruins. Katie Vest now to the line, 18, serving 22. Clark to Jenkins, quick set. Jessica Smallwood just tapped it over. Vest to Cox, outside Addie Atcher. She goes back row, gets the kill. 19, serving 22. Ways brought to Jenkins, quick set inside. Jessica Smallwood, she doesn't miss that time. David LaFollette back in on the front line for the Panthers. Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 23, serving 19. Vest to Cox. Outside, Sadie Atcher goes across. It's in. Point Central. Addison Keith checking in on the front line for the Bruins. Luz Delgado checks into the service line. 20, serving 23. Clark to Powers. Now Jessica Smallwood will bump it over. Vest to Cox. Back set Sadie Atcher as she tools the block. 21, serving 23. Timeout, E-Town. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, online at physicaltherapyky.com. E-Town Apartments by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today at etownapartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating, a locally owned family-run pest control company. Called 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. So we come back to action. Luz Delgado will be at the service line for the Bruins. 21, serving 23.
E-Town leads. It'll be 21, serving 23. Timeout.
Powers to Clark. Quick set for Jessica Smallwood. Tips over. Gets the kill. And E-Town will be serving for the set. Harper Gregory will check in on the front line. Alex Jenkins to the service line.
13, Alex Jenkins to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside, Keith. She sends it back corner. It's wide, and we're all tied at one set apiece. Central wins set number 2, 25-21. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction is a family-owned and operated management service with over 30 years of combined experience. For those who are serving our country in the military, a discount is available. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of exit 91 off Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrappy metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company and has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. Then we'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact nfhs.com to subscribe today. They get ready for set number 3. Out on the court for the Bruins, Harper Lewis, Addie Atcher, Katie Vest, Anna Lewis, Sadie Atcher, and Addison Keith. Sam Nelson will check in as the libero. We talked about tomorrow night's game at Central Hardin. The following week, we might be at Central Hardin as well, as they are our only local team that will be at home. I'll tell you the back, Elizabethtown will be at home also the first week in the playoffs. We'll have to check your local listings for which game we will do. Z-Town comes out. It'll be Jessica Smallwood, Josie Smallwood, Alex Jenkins, Ava LaFollette, Sarah Clark, and Harper Gregory, with Avery Powers set to check in as the libero. Central will have the first service. We start set number 3. Sam Nelson at the line for the Bruins. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins. Josie Smallwood send it back row. Nelson is there. Anna Lewis across for Addie Atcher. She rolls it over. Gets the kill. One serving 0. Floats that one. Powers to Jenkins. For Clark, she just taps it over and she finds an open spot. Point Panthers, sorry. Brooke Snyder now in for the Panthers. She heads to the service line. 1 serving 1.
Brooke Snyder to serve.
Vest to Anna Lewis. Back sets Harper Lewis at a cross. That's out. Point E-Town. 2 serving 1. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Outside Addie Atcher. Howard digs that one out to Jenkins. for Josie Smallwood. Backline it's in. 3, serving 1. Nelson to Anna Lewis, outside Addie Atcher. Blocked there. Sadie Atcher for Addie Atcher. And not able to return it. Kill Addie Atcher. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor back in for the Bruins. Alexis Weisbrot checks in for Elizabethtown. Anna Lewis to the McKenna Cox to the service line. 2, serving 3.
McKenna Cox to serve for Central Hardin.
Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins, back across. Clark, she goes back row. Nelson there. Vest pops it in the air. Sadie Atcher will roll that one over. Powers to Weisbrot. Outside, Josie Smallwood. She goes. McKenna Cox gets that one. Nelson bumps that outside. Addie Atcher moves off the front line. Weisbrot digs it out. Jenkins now for Josie Smallwood. Back line. Nelson gets that one. Taylor pops it in the air. And that from Addie Atcher, she gets the kill. 3, serving 3. Jessica Smallwood overpass there, and Jenkins with the quick hands right at the net gets the kill. Sarah Clark now to the line for the Panthers. 4, serving 3.
Sarah Clark to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside Addie Atcher. Off the front line. Powers digs it right at the net. And Larkin Taylor there for the tip kill. We do want to congratulate the Elizabethtown girls soccer team. Victorious last night over West Jessamine. They moved to Saturday's state championship game against South Oldham. That game time set for 4 o'clock. Katie Vest at the line for the Bruins. 4, serving 4. Weisbrot to Jenkins for Clark. Tipped at the net, and a kill for Sarah Clark. Point Panthers. Able to follow it back in on the front line as Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 5, serving 4.
Josie Smallwood to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside Addie Atcher. That one off the block, popped in the air, sent back over by the Bruins. Clark just going to dump it over. Vest gets to that one. Cox outside. Addie Atcher blocked at the net. Jenkins and Jessica Smallwood. 6, serving 4. Nelson to Cox, outside Addie Atcher. Blocked at the net, Sadie Atcher for Cox. Back for Addie Atcher, and she goes off the blocker. Still Point Central. Addison Keith into the lineup on the front line for the Bruins. Addie Atcher to the service line. 5, serving 6. Clark to Jenkins. Back for Clark, back row. Vest gets that one to Cox. This will go for Addison Keith, blocked at the net. Cox sends it up, Vest back. Sadie Atcher now. That one gets blocked. And Cox dug it out with one hand. Weisbrot on the other side. Clark for Jenkins, back row. It's in. Point E-Town. Harper Gregory in on the front line for the Panthers as Alex Jenkins heads to the service line. 7, serving 5. Nelson to Cox. Back set, Sadie Atcher blocked at the net. Vest to Cox. She'll send it across. Keith now. Powers overpass. That one back. Vest to Cox. For Sadie Atcher again. That one down the line. It's wide. I'm going to say a tip touched by E-Town, Point Central. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis check back in for Central Hardin. Anna Lewis will head to the service line. 6, serving 7. Catches the tape and over. Clark to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. She gets the kill. Jessica Smallwood will head to the service line for the Panthers. 8, serving 6. Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis in the middle. Dug out by LaFollette. Comes back over. Harper Lewis to Anna Lewis. Now to be Keith. She goes off the blockers for the kill. Sadie Atcher now to the line for Central. 7, serving 8. Powers to Jenkins. Outside Clark. A net violation on Central, Point E-Town. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line. Avery Powers to the service line. 9, serving 7. Vest to Nelson. Back for Vest. She'll send it back row. Powers is there. Jenkins for Clark, just tipped over. Sadie Atcher gets it to Anna Lewis. Now Keith goes back row. Jessica Smallwood gets that one. Jenkins outside. Josie Smallwood back row. Sadie Atcher gets to it. Anna Lewis for Keith. That one off the blockers. Clark with another block. 10, serving 7. With that, Coach Reinecker will take a timeout. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs, airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and you can always check out our past broadcast on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. As we come back, we are in set number 3. It'll be Avery Powers at the line for the Panthers. 10, serving 8. I'm sorry, 10, serving 7. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Back set Keith. She goes back row. Jenkins sends it all the way back over. Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper. Lewis just tipped over and she gets the kill. Addie Etcher back in on the front line for the Bruins. Sam Nelson to the service line. 8, serving 10. Clark to Jenkins. Oh, miss hits that one. Point Bruins. 9, serving 10. That goes long. Point Panthers. Brooke Snyder back in for the Panthers. She'll head to the service line. 11, serving 9. Vest to Anna Lewis. Outside Addie Atcher. And that goes off the blockers. Kill for Atcher. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor back in for Central Hardin. Alexis Waysbrock back in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox to the service line, 10 serving 11.
McKenna Cox to serve.
Powers to Jenkins for Clark. Blocked at the net. Hot back over. Cox to Vest. Outside. Addie Atcher will send it back row. Jessica Smallwood there. Jenkins across for Josie Smallwood off the front line. Nelson gets that one. Cox bump sets outside. Addie Atcher. And that one's off the blockers and another kill for Addie Atcher. 11 serving 11. Powers to Jenkins. Quick set inside. Josie Smallwood. Cox gets to that one. Nelson going to send this one. It's for Addie Atcher. Blocked in the net. Sadie Atcher pops it in the air. Vest back for Addie Atcher. She rolls it over. Josie Smallwood gets that one. Jenkins inside for Clark. Off the front line. Nelson gets to it, but not going to be able to control it. Point Panthers. Sarah Clark to the line. 12 serving 11.
Clark to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside, Atcher just punches it over, and a net violation on E-Town. Point, Central Hardin. Katie Vest now to the line for the Bruins. 12, serving 12. Waysbrock to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Blocked at the net by Taylor and Addie Atcher. 13 serving 12. Waysbrock to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Tipped over right into the middle. Point E-Town. Able to follow it back in on the front line. Josie Smallwood to the service line. 13 serving 13. Vest to Nelson. Up for Addie Atcher. She rolls it back line. It's long. Point E-Town. 14 serving 13. Vest to Cox for Addie Atcher. Waysbrock digs that one out to Clark for La Follette. And Nelson gets to it. And now Vest will send it over. Jenkins to Clark. Quick set. And a kill by Jessica Smallwood. 15 serving 13. Great plays again on both sides. Kind of what we expect out of these two teams. Vest right to the net for Cox. She bumps it up. Sadie Atcher. She clears the block. Point Central. Addison Keith back in on the front line. Luz Delgado in on the service line for the Bruins. 14 serving 15.
Delgado to serve for Central Hardin.
Clark to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. Sends there. Vest gets that one to Cox. Back set. Sadie Atcher just rolls that one over. Clark to Powers. Outside. Jenkins will have to send it back row, and they're going to call a double. Point Central. 15 serving 15. Powers to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood off the front line. Vest gets that one. to Cox. Outside, Keith. Tapped over, blocked there by Jessica Smallwood. Point E-Town. Sam Nelson back in for Central Hardin on the back line. Harper Gregory in on the front line for the Panthers. Alex Jenkins to serve. 16 serving 15. Vest to Cox for Sadie Atcher across court. Clark digs that one out. Powers for Harper Gregory. She goes back line. Nelson is there. Cox back set. Sadie Atcher again. That one blocked at the net by Lafayette. 17 serving 15. Vest to Cox for Larkin Taylor. She gets the kill. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis back in for Central Hardin. Anna Lewis to the service line. 16 serving 17.
Anna Lewis to serve the Bruins.
Clark to Jenkins. Back set Jessica Smallwood. She tools the block. Point E-Town. And Jessica Smallwood will head to the service line. 18 serving 16.
Jessica Smallwood to serve for E-Town.
That one floats long. Service error. Point Central Hardin. Sadie Atcher now to the line for the Bruins. 17 serving 18. Powers to Jenkins. Set for Clark. And Clark gets the kill. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line for E-Town. Avery Powers to the service line. 19 serving 17. Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis off the front line. Powers gets to that one. Now Jenkins sets for Clark. And Clark with another kill. And with that, Central Hardin will take a timeout. Their second timeout. I will say as an announcer, this is my favorite and least favorite game that we call. In district semifinals, in region finals where both teams are in the 17th district, you see some dreams get made, but you also see some careers come to an end. And I've seen, I can't even count how many sets for Sarah Clark and how many sets for Addie Atcher and Anna Lewis and what they have meant for their schools. We would also like to thank Gina Lyon, our producer, photographer, videographer. She's doing graphics and sound for us here tonight on our one camera setup. As we come back to action, the Avery Powers at the line for the Panthers. 20, serving 17.
E-Town plays a big 20, serving 17, and on the timeout.
Vest to Anna Lewis for Keith. Just taps that one over. Powers, diving dig, gets it back. Lewis pops it outside. Keith, that one's dug out by Jessica Smallwood. Powers for Josie Smallwood. She'll bump it to the back line. Nelson is there to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis at the net. Pop back over by Clark. And they net. I don't know if it's a net violation or what it was, but it's the second time that's been called. Point for Central. Sam Nelson now at the line for the Bruins. 18 serving 20. Clark right back at the net. Jenkins back for Clark. Clark with the big hit. Brooke Snyder now into the lineup for the Panthers. 21 serving 18.
Brooke Snyder to serve for the Panthers.
That one's long. Service error. Point for Central. Alexis Waysbrought back into the lineup for the Panthers on the back row. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor check in for the Bruins. Cox heads to the service line. 19 serving 21.
McKenna Cox to serve for the Bruins.
Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. Clark goes across. Sadie Atcher gets that one to Cox. This one takes them all the way into the net. Point. Should be point E-Town. 22 serving 19. Sarah Hart to the line for Elizabethtown. A service error right back to Central Hardin. And Katie Vest heads to the line for the Bruins. 20 serving 22. Waysbrought to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. That's back line. It catches it. Point. E-Town. Josie Smallwood now to the service line for the Panthers. Ava LaFollette checks in on the front line. 23 serving 20. Vest to Cox, back set Sadie Atcher off the front line. Clark gets to that one. Now Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood, blocked at the net. Clark right back to Jenkins. Now they'll send it outside. LaFollette, she gets the kill. And Josie Smallwood heads to the line, serving for the set. 24 serving 20. Vest to Cox. Outside Addie Atcher. That one goes back row. It's long. And E-Town leads 2-1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction is a family-owned and operated management service with over 30 years of combined experience. For those who are serving our country in the military, a discount is available. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of exit 91 off Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company that has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. And West Point Bank, with 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs, airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184. And you can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. We are heading to set number 4. E-Town up 2-1. Central Hardin won the opening set 25-20. E-Town took set number 2, 25-21, and then set number 3, 25-20. Central Hardin will have to win set number 4 to force a deciding set 5. We come out for set number 4 on the court for the Bruins. Addie Atcher, Harper Lewis, Anna Lewis, Katie Vest, Sadie Atcher, and Addison Keith. With Sam Nelson checking in as the libero for the Panthers. Alex Jenkins, Sarah Clark, Jessica Smallwood, Josie Smallwood, Ava LaFollette, and Brooke Snyder with Avery Powers set to check in as the libero. E-Town will serve to start set number 4. And it'll be Brooke Snyder to start us off for Elizabethtown.
E-Town will start set number 4. Snyder to serve.
Vest to Anna Lewis. Outside, Addie Atcher. That one blocked at the net, popped in the air. Sadie Atcher gets it over. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins. Outside, Josie Smallwood off the front line. Nelson gets that one. Anna Lewis across. Addie Atcher goes back row. It's in. Alexis Ways brought back in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor back in for the Bruins. Cox heads to the service line. 1 serving 0. Checking lineups, making sure everybody's in the right place. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins, outside Clark. That one dug out by Sadie Atcher, back over Josie Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark one more time. That one blocked at the net by Addie Atcher. 2-0. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Clark. Cuts across. Nelson gets that one to Cox. Addie Atcher winds up. She gets the kill. 3-0. Powers to Jenkins for Josie Smallwood. She goes back line. It's long. Point Central. 4 serving 0. Ace for Cox. 5 serving 0. Timeout, E-Town. Again, tomorrow night we are back on the air, HCEC-TV, as we will have football action. South Oldham travels to Central Hardin, take on the Bruins in their final regular season ball game of the year. Game time set for 7:30. Coach Paul Gray will bring you all of that action. It will not be on our coverage, but Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock from Frederick Douglass High School in Lexington, the Elizabethtown Panthers will take on South Oldham Dragons in girls soccer for the state championship game. Again, that starts at 4 o'clock. We come back to action here. We are in set number 4. McKenna Cox will be at the line for the Bruins. 5 serving 0. Jessica Smallwood to Ways Brought. Josie Smallwood will have to bump this one over. Nelson gets it to Cox. Cross, Addie Atcher. This one goes off the block because that hit the antenna, so it'll be wide. Point E-Town. Sarah Clark to the line for the Panthers. 1 serving 5. Vest to Cox. Atcher not able to punch it back over. That'll be 4 hits. Point E-Town. 2 serving 5. Vest to Cox for Addie Atcher. That one blocked to the net. Nelson pops it up. Cox back sets for Vest, just tapped over Powers, and then it looked like it was a double hit. Cox outside, Addie Atcher, she'll send it back. Roe Clark gets that one. Jenkins across for Josie Smallwood. That's off the blocker. Point Panthers. Three serving 5. Nelson to Vest. Now Taylor will bump it over back line. Wade's brought to Clark for Jessica Smallwood off the front line. Nelson gets that one. Cox outside, Addie Atcher. She rolls it. Powers gets that one. Jenkins keeps it in, and Jessica Smallwood not going to be able to get it over. Central. Katie Vest now to the line for the Bruins. 6 serving 3.
Caitlin Vest serve.
Ways Brought to Jenkins. Go set again inside. That one blocked by Addie Atcher and Markin Taylor. 7 serving 3. That one floated over. Clark to Jenkins outside. Josie Smallwood, big hit. Diving dig by Nelson to Cox. Addie Atcher off the front line. Clark gets that one to Jenkins. She'll send it outside. Josie Smallwood back row. Cox to Vest. Outside Sadie Atcher. She hits that one off the front line. Jenkins to Clark. Back for Jenkins. She'll send it over. Vest to Cox. Addie Atcher gets that one blocked. Vest to Nelson. Now Sadie Atcher. She'll roll it back line. Ways Brought gets to it. Looked like it was going to go out. Clark for Josie Smallwood. Now Nelson gets that one. Cox, cross, Addie Atcher, she just tips it. Clark gets to it, now Powers, and Josie Smallwood will bump it over. Vest to Cox, back set, Sadie Atcher, she goes back row, Ways Brought with a dig. Clark keeps it in, now Powers will bump it over. Vest to Cox, Addie Atcher tips that one at the net, Clark will dig it out. Jenkins outside, Josie Smallwood again. Cox gets that one to Nelson, she'll bump set it for Addie Atcher. Atcher back line, Ways Brought gets that one. Clark for Alex Jenkins. Cox digs that one out. Vest bump sets across. Sadie Atcher back line out. Point E-Town. What a point. Big digs on both sides. Ava LaFollette will check back in on the front row for the Panthers. Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 4 serving 7. Vest to Cox. Outside, Addie Atcher blocked at the net. Cox again to Vest for Sadie Atcher. That one blocked Point E-Town. 5, serving 7. Vest to Cox. Outside, Adiatros just to tip that one over. Tip kill for Jessica Small. Oh, they said a carry on E-Town. Point Central. Addison Keith checks in on the front line for Central. Adiatro heads to the service line. 8, serving 5. Avery Powers back in for the Panthers. Back row. Clark to Jenkins. For Clark, she'll go back row. It's long. Point Central. 9, serving 5. Clark to Jenkins. Bumped over by La Follette. Vest to Cox. Outside Keith. That one blocked inside, popped up. That'll be 4 hits. That'll be a point Panthers. Harper Gregory back in on the front line for E-Town. Alex Jenkins to the service line. 6, serving 9. Vest to Nelson. Matt Keith going to bump it over back line. Jenkins to Clark for Jessica Smallwood. And Jessica Smallwood with another kill. 7, serving 9. Vest to Cox. Back set Sadie Atcher. She'll just roll it over. Harper Gregory to Jenkins. Outside. La Follette will send it back row. Nelson to Cox. For Sadie Atcher off the front line. Gregory pops it in the air. Now Clark and Avery Powers not able to clear the net. Point Central. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis check back in for the Bruins. Anna Lewis heads to the service line. 10, serving 7. Clark to Powers. Outside, La Follette sends it over. Diving dig by Nelson. Anna Lewis for Sadie Atcher. Dug out by Clark. Harper Gregory to the middle. Jessica Smallwood sends it over. Nelson to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis in the middle. Blocked there. Kicked back over, but out. Point E-Town. Jessica Smallwood to the line for the Panthers. 8, serving 10. Service error. Sadie Atcher heads to the service line for the Bruins. 11, serving 8. Jessica Smallwood to Jenkins for Harper Gregory. Popped up. Anna Lewis to Nelson. Now to go outside for Keith. She'll roll it back line. It's in. Oh! I'm 100% positive that one was in. Called out to be Point E-Town. Josie Smallwood will check back in on the front line. Avery Powers to the line. 9, serving 11. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Cross for Vest. That doesn't clear the net. 10, serving 11. And Central Hardin must win set number 4 to continue this match. E-Town up 2 sets to 1. 10, serving 11. Nelson to Harper Lewis for Vest. She just rolls it over to the middle. Jenkins to Powers, just right back at the net. Able to get it over. Lewis back sets for Vest. She sends it back row. Jenkins dives at it toward Point Central. Both teams look a little out of sync on that point. Addie Etcher back in for the Bruins as Sam Nelson heads to the service line. 12 serving 10. Jessica Smallwood right at the net. Jenkins now. Clark just tips it over. Vest pops in the air. Addie Atcher sends it back row. And Powers not going to be able to return it. Point Central. 13 serving 10. Clark to Powers. Jenkins will bump it over, and she gets it in as it falls between the front line and back line. E-Town. Lexi Davis checks in for the Panthers. Brooke Snyder also checks in. Snyder will head to the service line. 11 serving 13. Nelson to Harper Lewis, and that's misplayed. 12 serving 13. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Outside Addie Atcher. Off the front line, Davis with the diving dig. Clark tipped at the net and clear for Sarah Clark. 13 serving 13. Vest to Anna Lewis. For Addie Atcher, just tips over. Davis gets that one. To Jenkins outside. Josie Smallwood off the block is another kill. 14 serving 13. Service over, Point Central. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor back in for Central Hardin. Alexis Waysbrock back in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox heads to the service line. 14 serving 14. Powers to Jenkins. Back sets Clark. She rolls it back line. Sadie Atcher to Vest. That goes back over. Jenkins. Powers will bump it up to Josie Smallwood. Back row Nelson is there. Cox bump sets for Addie Atcher. Rolls over. Powers gets that one. Jenkins outside. Josie Smallwood. Back row Nelson again. Cox. That one's going to go across. Jenkins gets to it. Nelson pops it in the air. Cox plays it. Now it'll be Nelson. That'll bump it over the Davis to Jenkins for Clark. Touched at the net. Kill. Sarah Clark. Point E-Town. Jessica Smallwood back in on the front line as Sarah Clark heads to the service line. 15 serving 14. Vest to Cox. A back. Addie Atcher. There. Clark for Jenkins. Now Jessica Smallwood just taps it over right into the middle. Kind of a delayed hit. And all the blockers had come down, able to get it over. And Central Hardin takes a timeout. This is a Hardin County Education Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. eTownApartments.com by Mark Harris Construction. Take a virtual tour today at eTownApartments.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company. has been serving the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Again, we are in set number 4. E-Town leads 2 sets to 1. In order for Central Hardin to extend this match, they will have to win this set. As we come out of this timeout, Sarah Clark will be at the service line for the Panthers. 16 serving 14.
E-Town leads at about 16 serving 14. Coming out of the timeout, Sarah Clark to serve.
Vest to Cox. Outside one's right at the net. Point. E-Town. 17 serving 14. Nelson to Cox. Outside Addie Atcher. She goes back row. It's in. Central Hardin. Katie Vest now heads to the service line. 15 serving 17.
Caitlin Vest will serve.
Weisbrant overpass. Right back at the net. Played out. Not going to be able to get it up. Point E-Town. Ava Follett back in on the front line. Josie Smallwood heads to the service line. 18 serving 15.
Josie Smallwood to serve.
Gets to the top of the tape. Vest for Nelson. Outside Addie Atcher. That one blocked to the net. Nelson to Sadie Atcher. Now Vest sends it over. That's blocked right there. Sent back up. Joust won by Larkin Taylor. Point Central. Katie Vest with the kick set. Luz Delgado checks in on the service line for the Bruins. Addison Keith to the front line. 16 serving 18. Clark to Jenkins for Jessica Smallwood. She lines it up. That's in. Harper Gregory back in for Elizabethtown. Sam Nelson will come back in on the back row. Alex Jenkins to serve. 19 serving 16.
Alex Jenkins to serve.
Vest to Cox for Keith. She goes outside. Powers gets that one back. It's played into the net. Point Central Hardin. Harper Lewis and Anna Lewis up for the Bruins. Anna Lewis will head to the service line. 17 serving 19.
Anna Lewis will serve for the Bruins.
Clark to Powers. Outside, the follow will send it back row. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Back set Sadie Atcher. She goes middle. Clark digs that one. Powers pops it in the air. Oh, sorry, a double hit. Point Central. 18 serving 19. Clark to Powers. Outside, La Follette. She'll send it over. Vest to Anna Lewis for Harper Lewis in the middle. Just tipped over. La Follette to Clark. Sets up for Jessica Smallwood. She gets the kill. Jessica Smallwood now to the service line for the Panthers. 20 serving 18. Nelson to Vest. Outside, Sadie Atcher rolls that one back line. Powers to Jenkins for Clark. Just gets a little on it and gets the kill. 21, serving 18, and Central Hardin takes their second timeout. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, eTown Exterminating, and West Point Bank. At the conclusion of our game, we will have players named to the all-tournament team, along with the presentation of the region runner-up and the region championship trophies. Again, Region 5 is paired up with Region 4 for the first round of the KSSAA Sweet 16. It'll be played at the school with the higher RPI. This is as loud as it's been all night long. We come out of this timeout. It'll be Jessica Smallwood at the line for the Panthers. 21, serving 18. Nelson to Anna Lewis, an ace. 22, serving 18. Vest to Anna Lewis. Back set Sadie Atcher. She'll roll it back line. Jenkins to Jessica Smallwood. Now Clark will bump it over. Vest to Anna Lewis. Back sets again Sadie Atcher. This time she gets the kill. Point Central. And Sadie Atcher heads to the service line. 19, serving 22. Powers to Jenkins. Outside Clark is there. Rolls it back line. Nelson to Anna Lewis. Across. Keith. Keith clears the block. 20, serving 22. Ace. 21, serving 22. And E-Town takes their final timeout in set number 4. This is as good as it gets. A great atmosphere for two great teams. Again, this is the 6th year in a row Central Hardin and Elizabethtown have squared off for the region championship. 7 of the last 8 years. A great environment here at Taylor County High School. We'd like to thank Coach Zink. He and his coaches and their players for this tournament this week. It's been a great environment to hold this event in. We come out of the timeout. Sadie Atcher will be at the line for the Bruins. 21, serving 22. Jessica Smallwood, this one right back at the net. Gregory sends it back line and she gets the point. Josie Smallwood back in on the front line. Avery Powers heads to the service line. 23, serving 21. Sadie Atcher to Anna Lewis for Vest. Vest goes good. Central. Abby Atcher checks back in on the front line for the Bruins. Lexi Davis will check in on the back line for the Panthers. Sam Nelson now at the line. 22, serving 23. Clark to Jenkins. Back for Clark. Nelson digs that one out. This will be right at the net. Joust there. Clark pops it up. Jenkins outside. Josie Smallwood. She goes off the blocker. And it is championship point for the Panthers. Brooke Snyder checking in and heading to the service line for E-Town. Vest to Anna Lewis. For Addie Atcher. That one touched at the net. Powers pops it in the air. Clark outside. Josie Smallwood goes back row. Nelson is there. Anna Lewis bumps outside. Addie Atcher one more time. Powers to Jenkins. Josie Smallwood now. That one blocked at the net. Doesn't clear the net. 4 hits. Point Central. McKenna Cox and Larkin Taylor now into the lineup for the Bruins. Alexis Weisbrot back in for Elizabethtown. McKenna Cox will head to the service line. 23 serving 24.
McKenna Cox to serve for the Bruins.
Powers to Jenkins. Outside for Clark. Taps it over, and that's it. E-Town wins the 5th region title. 3 sets to 1. This is a Hardin County Education Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Bradenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, eTownApartments.com, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. E-Town wins in 4 sets. First set going to the Bruins 25-20. Second set, E-Town wins 25-21. They win the third set 25-20. And then here in the 4th set, 25-23. Then we're going to have the presentation of the all-tournament team along with the runner-up and region championship trophies presented.
Now for our awards. First, all-tournament team selection from the runner-up, Central Hardin. First, number 3, Sadie Asher. Number 9, Samantha Nelson. And number 12, Addie Atcher.
So Sam Nelson, Sadie Atcher, and Addie Atcher named to the all-tournament team for the Bruins. Now we'll have 4 members from the Elizabethtown squad.
Now all-tournament selection from the champion, E-Town. First, number 1, Avery Powers. Number 4, Alex Jenkins. Number 7, Sarah Clark. And number 8, Jessica Smallwood.
So Alex Jenkins, Avery Power, Sarah Clark, and Jessica Smallwood all named to the all-tournament team from the Panthers. And now we'll have the presentation of the region runner-up trophy to the Central Hardin Bruins.
Your 5th region tournament runners-up, the Bruins from Central Hardin. Congratulations, ladies, on a tremendous tournament and a great season.
And now for the presentation of the region champions, the Elizabethtown Panthers. think they're going to call off the roster
Your roster
for
from Central Hardin.
from
Number
ETO.
2, Elizabethtown.
Supposed to just do the championship.
Your championship roster, number 1, Avery Powers. Number 2, Josie Smallwood. Number 3, Alexius Waysbrock. Number 4, Alex Jenkins. Number 5, Lexi Davis. Number 6, Ella Brown. Number 7, Sarah Clark. Number 8, Jessica Smallwood. Number 9, Sadie Slinger. Number 10, Ava Lane. Number 11, Grace Guthrie. Number 12, Emerson Gregory. Number 13, Harper Gregory. Number 14, Brooke Snyder. Number 15, Abby Clark. Number 16, Addison James. Number 17, Jenna West. And number 19, Alyssa Philpott. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your champions, the Panthers from E-Town, your 5th region champions.
So E-Town wins the 5th region. They will take on the 4th region champions in the first round of the KHSAA Sweet 16. Great season on both. We will not have the next games. Now they present the game ball to Bart Catlett for E-Town. Reminder, we're back on the air tomorrow night. Football action. South Oldham comes to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. I'd like to thank Miss Gina Ryan again for all of our production here. I am Bobby Thompson saying so long and good night.